Oh, hello and welcome back to the 69D challenge, where I try to improve my life a little bit every day, and you can follow me along in these pledges. Hello. Today we're still in the future, as you can see. We're still in my hotel room, and I thought it would be a great idea, since last week the reason why there is no vlog today was I had too much work to do. I even told you in the Discord, if you remember, I sent at everyone Discord message that I can't do the stream on that day because I had to work. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to do a vlog now about what I'm actually doing. Who is me? What is my job? What am I doing outside of Twitch? Do I even do anything outside of Twitch? So I started the job I'm working at right now 3 months ago. Before this, I used to be an IT system integration specialist, it's called. Basically, I would administer server client networks for companies. What does that mean? I would set up a system for companies where their users could work and on clients, which are like notebooks, PCs, phones, anything that has a digital interface and with which you can interact with others. And I would administer a system where the users would be able to work with their digital files with each other in a secure way, so nobody from the outside and also nobody from the inside can extract data or compromise their data, and they would still be able to communicate with the outside world, with the inside world, and everything would work. Nothing would turn off, turn down. Well, sometimes it would, but then I would fix it. You know what I mean? Like, that was my job. I would try to maintain networks for companies. And those companies had a range from of employees from 50 to 2,000. So sometimes a company would call every day because they had 2,000 users. Then an issue will come up when you have 2,000 users. Yeah, you will call. And sometimes they'd called maybe once a year or so for their things. Yeah. And my job most of the time was to pick up the phone and to solve issues, whatever issue it was. And like I said, it was only companies we administered, so there was no random person calling us, there was no private person calling us. All of these people were known to us, we had a database of them, so we could instantly see who it was that was calling. We also would know the place. I've been there before, I've seen it before, I know their networks, I know the other people of their system, so it was never like some random person that will call and just yell at you at other hotline companies. You know, it was more an internal IT department I was working at. What I did the most was I would pick up the phone, I would have a user that would have an issue, I would figure out what the actual underlying cause of the issue was, and I would try to fix it, either by doing research on it, by just having knowledge about it, or by calling a specialist for it. I would also try to maintain the systems that were already there by updating servers, clients, applications, whatnot, implementing new applications, talking to users to set up new environments or new systems, new applications for them, and also plan out changes. Like if there was a huge change to a company where the whole system would be overhauled by a new system, I would plan this out and then I would apply this or go there and do this for them. Like if they would update from an old server client model to a newer one or whatever it was that they were updating, I would plan this and do this accordingly. I would also do the inventory, like type everything in about things that we gave out. But mostly I did lots of things, everything basically. I had my nose in every little thing of IT things you could do, and I loved it. I loved it very much because I love helping people, I love doing research on things, I love finding solutions and applying them in my own way, or thinking of a way to make things more efficiently and then doing them for others, because then you get some sort of feedback. I always got positive feedback, like, oh, she was always able to help me. Can I have her back on the phone? Because I know she can fix my issue. I don't know if you can, but she can totally fix my issue. Also, she didn't not only fix it, she made my life better afterwards by giving me other things that were good for me. So that was me, and I love doing that. But I reached a point where every day was kind of the same. I knew everything that I had to know, and everything that was new that I could learn or do research on, I wouldn't have been able to apply at the current job I was working at. So I switched jobs. Now I am a Microsoft 365 specialist. So what is that? Microsoft 365, you probably have heard about this before, or you've seen some of their applications, maybe Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, Word. At least if you've ever been to school, you've probably heard about their programs because you probably had to use them in school. And those are also applications that are used by companies usually. Usually big companies use the Microsoft Office suite. And Microsoft 365 is like a composition of not only the applications, but also a way to administer devices and users, to set a security level, and to deploy everything. When it comes to applications, websites, anything. You can do anything with the suite. You can even program things. It's a huge thing. I don't know how to explain it properly. It's like a huge composition of tools that you can use to digitalize your company, whatever company you have. They're not 100% perfect. There's still things they need to work on, but it's fairly new. The whole system that they started going live with, the system was I think 4 years ago or so. So it's fairly new, and it's still good for what it is, or what they've come up till now. It's really good. It's also very tricky to learn because everything in this composition, like I said, composition, there's so many things, details you need to know to make something work. Like if you know this part of the composition, you still have to know how this part of the composition interacts with everything else. And you have to do the same thing with every other thing in this environment. So it's lots of things you need to know. Therefore, the term Microsoft 365 specialist, what I am, kind of makes no sense, because I don't think it's humanly possible to know everything about the whole thing. Usually in companies, especially in bigger companies, there's multiple people that work on different parts of this composition. So one person would be for the applications, one person would be for the security, one person would be for the endpoint deployment, one person would, I don't know, do workflows for people. So everything they do in point A would also work in point C. Yeah, that's like, you would have someone for every department of this. And I'm basically there for everything. I'm there for everything. I'm doing everything. And when there's a problem with something, I have to solve it. I can't ask a specialist because I am the specialist. So that's basically, that's what I do. And I love it. It's cool, it's nice, it's challenging, but also very, very modern, very exciting as well, because there are things that I didn't know were possible, like digitalize workflows especially. I know this from someone who's streaming, doing content creation on the backside. If I would have employees, which I don't yet, well, are my editors employees? I don't think so. If I would have employees and I would have multiple people that had to work together, I would look for something that could solve all of the issues that I'm having all together. Something where I could plan processes, do processes, make workflows, applications and whatnot. I would love to have this. Maybe not for content creation, I don't know if that makes sense, but if I was like a normal company where if there were people from the outside that I would have to please, so they give me money, then I probably would wish for a way to communicate properly with everyone in the company and make everything secure and efficient and stuff like that. So I can totally see how this is amazing. Also, applying this is just great. Whenever I see the end users and how I fixed a process for them in a digital way, so they don't have to write a paper, then take the paper, walk 2 offices away to give someone else the paper. Then that person has to read the paper. They might have to scan the paper. They have to sign the paper, scan it again. They have to go with their papers to someone else, put it on their desk so they do a signature, and then take the document, scan it in. You know, I can do all of this digitally now. Like, they don't have to leave their workplace anymore. They can just do this where they don't need to move. This is just a little part of it. Yeah. Did you get any idea of what I'm doing now? I'm not sure. This is basically my life. Yeah, I didn't really go into what I'm doing right now because that will be part of tomorrow's vlog. I thought today I will just give you a broad or a general explanation of what I'm doing or what I've been doing. And tomorrow I will show you what I've done for the past 3 months, because that's basically what I had to do for this business trip, and that's what I had to do last week extensively, because last minute things happened that weren't working and should have worked, but they weren't working, so I had to fix them. Yeah, so please tell me, did I make sense? Do you now know more about me and my life than you did before? Do you know less because my explanation sucked? Do you think this sounds exciting? What is your job? What do you do? Give me a brief explanation of what do you do. Let me know, please. Let me know. What is your job? What do you do as a person? Who are you? What is your life like? How much money do you make? No, you don't need to tell me this. Yeah. And do you like your job? That's important. Do you like your job? Whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. If you love your job, I think then you found the correct place. No matter how much money you're making and how much you have to do, if you love it there, then it's probably all right. And if you don't love it there, you probably should leave, actually. Yeah, there's always other places that are better. Don't be anxious. I know what it's like or what it feels like to leave a company you've been working at for a while and start somewhere new all over, because that's weird. You don't know anyone there. You don't know the environment. You have no knowledge about anything. You kind of have to just start over and be a noob again instead of an expert, to become an expert again. And that can be quite frightening and challenging. But in the end, at least for me, it worked out, and I feel so much better now, because I stepped out of my comfort zone. Okay, tell me in the comments about your thoughts, about who you are, what you do. Thank you for watching. Bye.